All right, cooking with grease now. Enlarge our show. All right, cooking now. Hopefully you should be able to see in a few seconds. Presentation should begin. All right, cool beans. So who are we? Real University, and the real stands for that's you, right? That's you, the real you, renewing excellence and advancing leadership. What is it you desire? Is it your purpose that you're running after? Is it your passion that you're trying to do? Are you trying to just become different because you have realized that your habits have led you to a certain place, right? So now what we want to do is we want to stop all of the haterism. We want to stop all of the things that are surrounding us to tell us that we can't do whatever we put our mind to. It's time for the real you to come out, right? So that's the purpose, planning, the procedure. And then that gets you into what? The pattern, right? So then you can prosper, and that prosperity then is perpetual, right? And so that's what we're here to do. So we want to make sure that it's not to where you got to worry about another fluff or puff or peel, potion, lotion, wrap, tea, right? What it is, it's designed so that you can say, my purpose is this, and I'm going to run after it. And what I need to do, I need to have the right finances. And so what we did was at R.E.A.L University, those of us that were like mine, we said, hey, we need a certain way to express our purpose, right? So with the R.E.A.L University, what we did was say, hey, there is a company called Myecon. And that is simply stands for my economy. This allows you to express your purpose without pulling into your surroundings somebody else's purpose, right? Pulling into your surroundings what you really don't want to do, like a second job or something that is taking your time away from home. And this particular company, Myecon, right, is 17 years old. So it already has the right track record. It's debt free, technology driven. That means you can operate it anywhere, right? It's based out of Atlanta, Georgia, so don't have to worry about it being overseas and unapproachable, right? And then the next thing is the mission that's laid out for us, right? Is to empower people to attain success simply by acquiring more cash flow, right? Not by going out and getting this second job to where you got to get somebody to, take care of the children, or you got to get a second job. Now there's more taxes that you're paying, right? We show you how to make things work with what you have. And that's what's most important, right? If it's time that you're missing, let's make sure that the money starts working for you so that you can have more time, right? And let's not forget one thing. Our associates have already generated over $500 million in cash flow. So it's not to say whether this thing works, right? It is simply principles of cash flow. It's understanding now, let me get the education and let me put it to work, because it's over tens of thousands of people that already put these strategies to work and it's working for them, okay? So it's the same ingredients. Let's make sure you know how to cook, right? So now what we're looking for that cash flow success. And it's a universal concept. Everybody is thinking about it. No matter where you are or what you're doing, your focus is somewhere on cash flow, because it may be William that's coming into your mailbox, right? Bill, right? They keep coming. The Williams keep coming into your mailbox, right? So definitely you're thinking about more cash flow, right? So how do we do that? Okay, right? So it's individuals, companies, even nonprofits, right? So no matter who it is and where it is, more cash flow is essential. So you need it for your lifestyle, you need it for investing, you need it for debt elimination, right? And when you are having more cash flow, that allows your mind to be at ease, because you can meet the emergency becomes an inconvenience, right? Because you have the wherewithal to take care of it, right? And how do we do that? How do we determine to get more cash flow? See, the first thing we got to do is we got to have the proper motivation. That the motivation says that, hey, I have this purpose and I want to reach it, right? So there's nothing here for you to sell. So there's nothing to say, I can't do this, because we don't ask you to sell anything. We ask you to increase your cash flow by financial strategies. And that's just saying there are proven concepts and proven tactics that work no matter who works them, right? When you adjust your W-4, you get more money back. You pay less taxes. You have more cash flow. When you get better credit, you pay less in interest. You have more cash flow, right? And then you have more what? Credit, right? So it just works. Then there are some of us that have products and services because we are business people. We are CEOs, right? So we also would show you how to enhance what you're doing with your products and services by having the right financial background, right? The financial foundation, if you would, not the background, but the foundation, okay? And when you understand those things, then you can understand how to park yourself into one of these areas. And that third area is then business ownership. See, it's different ways of understanding what your hustle is, okay? See, Robert T. Kiyosaki said there was a what? A cash flow quadrant. And if you haven't heard of the cash flow quadrant, then that's definitely something that you need to be getting yourself involved in, okay? Because what I mean by that is there's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which you probably have heard of, but you maybe didn't hear of the cash flow quadrant. So you got to get back in there. So what this says is this. If you look at a, let's say a plus sign, right? On one side is the E and the other is S. And then up here is B, and then over here is I, okay? So you have a cross ESBI. See, your goal is to income shift so you're not only just the employer, which is the E, or the small business, which is the S. See, you want to cross over to the big side, which is the big business and investment side, okay? See, this is when your money works for you. In a small business, it's still all of us doing every position. And if we're not doing it, we don't get paid, right? So we want to become business owners, not just product and service, what? Peddlers, right? So now what do? We understand how to use these strategies via an income shifting membership, right? When you want to lose weight, gain weight, you have a gym membership, right? When you want to watch movies, a certain kind of movies, you have a certain streaming membership, right? See, that's where you have all the access of the things that you desire. So now, where is your financial membership? Okay, where is your money membership? Okay, see, this is an income shifting membership. So it teaches you, number one, how to effectively apply the strategies, but also two, never to buy retail again, right? So I will show you more about the non-retail strategy as we go, okay? The strategies in this membership empower us to generate more cash flow and to keep more cash flow, right? Generate or create more cash flow and to keep more cash flow. Majority of us that were working, right? The W-2s, 1099, no matter what it is, as soon as the money comes in, it goes out, right? Just think about it. You have one income stream majority of the times, and you have multiple streams of bills, right? So how does that measure? That's why we are robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's why some things that should be small ends up being large, because now we don't have a cash flow. What we have is an income and expenses, okay? So what we want to do is create cash flow to where now we have a way to always overcome any expenses that come in. So here are 5 ways, the top 5 ways that you can increase your cash flow without selling, without another registering to another program, right? Without another one of those things, right? So you can do a quick cash flow increase by adjusting your W-4. The number 2, you can minimize your taxes by using the proper business deductions. All that's saying is this: hey, your bills that everybody has can be turned into business expenses. Then they can be write-offs, which now we can start getting our money back. Why wouldn't you have an income shifting membership if at this present time you're not experiencing any write-offs? Even if your write-offs are not over reaching, right, your particular income that you are declaring. So now you're still paying back Uncle Sam, right? So if you are in need of a different way of doing so that you can have a different expression of cash flow, then this is the membership for you. Okay. So next, we build great credit so you can pay less in interest, right? So you can reduce your expenses. Okay. Then we start removing the debt. Once you start removing debt, now what's up, right? You can now have more money because once you had $200 going out, $500 going out, right? $2,000 going out. So now you paid all of that out. So now all of that money stays in the household. See, there was no need to start creating this business, that business, that business. When all we had to do is get a firm foundation of cash flow, then the cash flow would then be able to support the business ideas that we have, right? See, then you can roll into step 5 or the cash flow strategy 5, which is invest like the pros. You have now extra cash flow. So this money can be put into more into the 403Bs or the 401Ks or the IRAs, right? So whatever those things are that you want to dive into, the real estate investing, right? Bitcoin, whatever those things are that you want to do. See, you want to work on your purpose, okay? And see, business ownership is the primo. See, business ownership empowers us to generate income, to build wealth, and also to minimize your taxes at the same time. See, most times we jump into business just because we want money. And see, what happens then is that there always comes something else because we're chasing after money. So money says, hey, you have not earned me because you don't think properly. So and what happens, it starts to run away from you by emergencies happening, different situations happening. You see what I'm saying? So once you understand those things, you put your life into a disciplined path, right? You say, okay, hey, let me get these things in order. What do I need to learn about money so that it will work for me and not me working for it, right? And so number one, business ownership is the fastest way to grow income. Okay. 2/3 of all millionaires, number two, are business owners. Number three, direct sales and network marketing has already produced over, what is that? How many is that? 15 million millionaires. Okay. So what is the difference between those people that say, hey, um, something, 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 not Keith Sweat, right? Something, 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 not right. But something, something didn't work for me, right? What's the difference between the same individual saying, hey, I took what you were offered and I ran with it? Okay, what's the difference? The difference is just the ability to perform. That person said, hey, I'm going to do it no matter what, right? And that's what ends up happening. And now you as a business owner, you can start to express. Number one, remember when we said don't buy retail anymore, right? So how many of us out there have traveled, will travel, know somebody that's going to travel, travels all the time, one way or the other, right? Okay. Now, if that's the case, how many of those people or yourself are saving up to 70%? You see what I'm saying? So when you go into a gym and you have a gym membership, it saves money so that you don't have to buy the machinery, right? So that you can work out on the free weights without having to buy all the individual free weights. You pay what, $9, $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever it may be. So you have access and you save thousands of dollars. Okay. Besides having a gym for yourself built. You see what I'm saying? So that's what memberships allow you to do. Like your streaming membership, right? You don't have the money to pay licensing so that you can watch these movies over and over again, okay? Or do you have the money to buy them individually, right? So you now have a membership that allows you access to all of these things over and over again. See, now you can have access to a membership that lets your money, number one, you get your money for less. You say, Mike, how do I get my money? How do I get my money for less? See, what you do is now your money is expensive because your credit is not so high. Your money is expensive because it's not outpacing inflation. Your money is expensive because the education level now doesn't allow us to invest in the right things, right? I'm not talking about regular college education. I'm just talking about, or high school education. I'm just talking about we don't wasn't given terms and definitions about investing, right? That wasn't talked about majority of our tables, right? It certainly didn't even show us how to balance a checkbook, right? So those are the things that we have to have an understanding and say, okay, hey, maybe what I have gotten doesn't work anymore. Okay. So now let's not pay full price for travel anymore. Even if you find a better price, you get 110% guarantee. I mean, 110% cash back that we have the best price, right? So now you got all of these individual things that you can take advantage of: hotels, resorts, luxury residences, all of these individual things you can have access to, right? So the thing is, do we still pay full price or not? Okay. Now that we have cultivated our outside, we have everything moving so that we're not paying full price. We're reducing our expenses. Now we're increasing our cash flow. Now let's keep more of the cash flow and generate more cash flow too, right? So now we're going to look at business income. And that's just simply earning business income by enrolling people that have a desire to do better. They don't have to have a desire to sell some stuff. They don't have to have a desire to speak from the stage. They don't have to have a desire to do anything but become better, right? Get the credit better, get their personal expenses better, get their debt down, right? Whatever those things are, get into the next home. Just become better, right? And that's what we do. We share our stories or how these individuals are becoming better. These are our success stories and testimonies, right? We have individuals that's been around for numerous years and are millionaires. Some have been around for 5 to 7 years. Some have been around 3 years. Some have done it in 12 years. But it doesn't matter. They're now cash flow millionaires simply by following the strategies, not by getting somewhere and saying, hey, I'm making 18 million a year. No, just simply understanding, let me reduce these expenses, let me reduce these taxes, let me get better credit, let me get business credit so I can get away from this social, then let me leverage this credit on these different arenas. So now if anything that I'm working on so happens not to work, or another catastrophe happens like COVID or whatever, right? Now it's all been expressed into your business. And so now you can just push that to the side, right? So now that's called true leverage, okay? So now we tell those success stories on how the credit is getting better, how I'm understanding how my dollars have a certain destination now, how I have a mini emergency fund, how I have a full emergency fund, how my credit has grown 30 points, 40 points, right? So just share those stories because people are not getting those stories. That's why they're in trouble. Listen, you see a whole bunch of people talking about trouble, not a lot of people talking about their success if it's not this Instagram stuff, overnight stuff, right? So we also have the automated technology to help you, but to share these particular stories. All you have to do is have it on your phone. This person says they have a trouble with this, that, and the other. You say, hey, great. If you like some more information, I can send you some right now. The information is a text or email, and you take your hands off, right? Everything else the company does. The company sends more text messages. The company sends more emails. The company follows up with them day to day, right? And so when they're ready, now they can reach back out to you and you can keep moving on your purpose, right? That's what we want to do. Purpose is personal credit, business credit, understanding how to leverage that credit, right? So we want to get you to a point to where you're 680 or better. Okay. Now you can obtain the real estate investment dollars. Okay. Then you got to build your business credit. Then, like we're saying, leverage that credit individually into real estate assets and then to further in businesses and things like that. Okay. When you leverage yourself, now you can really understand what a compensation plan is really, okay? Because when we are in a place of creating leverage, That simply means we're making ourselves some multiple streams, and we're also understanding we're creating individual assets. So now this can be individual stocks that send back dividends. This can be the 401k that now I understand better. And now I can say, hey, maybe I should have that in a self-directed. See, these are the different things that now you understand how to leverage because you understand different terms and definitions because you have a money or an income shifting membership, right? And see, with your compensation plan, you have a goal of understanding, hey, a house or a business, right? Let's say, for instance, an individual asset can create like a house, an extra $200-300 a month, right? But you may have paid $50,000, $100,000, $300,000 for this particular property to cash flow, right? That's the whole goal. So what if you have an helping individuals to do the things that they desire? Okay. And what is that? The income shifting membership allows them to be the real them, the real them. They can do the real purposes that they set out to do. And every time an income shifting member says, hey, I would love to do that with you, you can make up to $76 on your individual enrollments. You see, and see, now you have an understanding. Okay, let me move this leveraging system. Okay, so now when you bump into individuals, they have troubles and problems. Now you can say, hey, I'm about to run, but I may have some information that can help you. And if that information helps them, then so be it. You referred good steaks before. You referred good movies before, right? You referred good cars that you've driven before. Why not refer something that can help this person express themselves in the purpose that they're running after, right? And now you have these individuals that's helping other people as well because you become a leader, okay? And so the leadership qualities help you in your business and your purpose development, right? Whether that's household or whether it's corporation. Okay, so now you're earning $10 on your team enrollments. So this is money that's being made while you are sleeping. This is money that's been made while you're out on vacation, okay? Because you understand leverage and leadership, okay? Now, every time an individual stays with us, like every time, every month, when you pay your cell phone bill, when you pay your insurance, right? What happens is they get a loyalty, right? So the individual that helps sign you up for that cell phone or helps sign you up for that insurance, they get a portion of that monthly check that you send in to that company. So that's what you're now able to do. Listen, you have people like Hulu, you have people like Netflix who are now billion dollars companies by having a subscription base of what? $8, $12, $10, right? And that created $1 billion because they gave them access to what the people desired. Now you can make every time somebody stays with you an extra month, extra $13. Boom. So imagine now over time, you've had now it's 100 individuals that are on your team and they renew every month. So now 13 times 100, right? That's $1,300 that comes in every month. And see, time's going to pass anyway. So why not structure and discipline yourself so that you can be in place? And so some people say, Mike, I don't have, a business, but I would like to do business, right? I want to do things from home, but I really don't have a particular business that I want to put in place. So we also have some high demand products and services that can help anybody, right? Everybody needs a little bit more cash flow. Everybody could use a way to write off their lifestyle to turn their bills into expenses so they can get some of their money back. Who wouldn't want to do that, right? So you may have somebody that says, hey, I just need the credit. So we have the My Credit System Credit Repair. You have all the videos, the training that you need with the templates that's necessary to create the best profile that you can for yourself. We have identity theft protection, legal services, as well as some other things like roadside services, nutritional products, some other stuff. We have coffee, right? So other things that we have as well. We have business funding. We have restaurant funding. There's a lot of people are trying to do some things in that area too, right? So now, how do we get this rolling, right? Your purpose is what? Whatever this is, get that in your mind. What is that purpose that you want to do, right? Now, this purpose for you is worth, right, probably more than money can imagine, right? But what does it cost to get there, right? How much money does it take to get your purpose off, okay? And what does it mean to get your purpose off and going? Right. So what is those things that you're needing? And think about this. If you're thinking about you're maybe 20 years old, 40 years old, 80 years old, no matter where you are, think about this number as we give you as I give you 5 more minutes. Think about a number that you want to retire on, monthly income that you would like to retire on, right? Okay, cool. Now, what's that number? Is it 6,000 a month? Would you like to retire on 10,000 a month? Right? What is that number that you like to retire on? Okay, so take that in your mind. Say, let's use an even number. Let's imagine you said 5,000 a month. Because I know if you're out there, you like me, you're business owners, or you either had a family, so you're thinking more in the $6,000 to $10,000 a month range. But let me show you something. $5,000 a month, if that's what we want to retire on. So what we have to have in savings or in investings, right? We need to have a certain amount of money that's going to produce $5,000 a month. How do I look at that? Okay. So what you need to do is you need to take that 5 times 12, that's 12 months, right? So now that's $60,000. Okay. So now that 60, you got to multiply it by at least 12 or 15. Okay. We're just going to do it for numbers' sake. We're going to multiply this by 10. The experts highly suggest that you multiply by 15 for your nest egg, but we're just going to do 10 because we want to see how prepared are you, right? So you can see how close or how far you are away. Right. So now we have 60,000 multiplied by 10. Now we have $600,000. Okay. So now in order for you to have $5,000 a month, you need to have at least $600,000 that's also making at least 8% return. Not just have 600,000 somewhere in your 401k that's only getting 2 or 3% that's getting eaten up by interest. That's not even going to have enough buying power for you. So you need to be making at least 8% return. Okay. So now think about it. If your number was 10,000 a month, then you have to double what I just did. So how close or how far away are you? So this would determine what is necessary for your next steps. Do you need to add income? Which means, hey, let me adjust my W-4. Let me get my credit right. Let me reduce some expenses, right? And I can add some income, an extra $500 a month, extra $1,500 a month, right? By adding income, okay? Or do you need to leverage your income by multiplying it? That means you need to set up a business. You got to get some way to start generating more money because, you only got a certain time before this retirement happens. So what do we do? Your 401k is only at 40,000. Okay, what do we do, right? So we got to get an understanding of how to make that work. So now we got to create business income. So how do we do that? We got to get that structure. So now, as some of us, if you like myself, when I went through, I lost a lot in my mid 30s. Okay, so I had to start over in my late 30s. So that meant I had to throw a lot in. Okay, so now I had to leverage, not just add, not just multiply, but I had to leverage it, which means I had to create multiple streams. Okay. So the best way to do that is to help people. And as I let you go, Zig Ziglar said it the best. If you want to reach your goals, the best way to do that is to help a lot of other people reach their goals. Then yours will come automatically. And the good book says that's just sowing and reaping, right? So our income shifting membership, that comes with our business income system, our income shifting strategies, quick cash flow strategy, minimize your taxes system, the get out of debt system, the build great credit system, the invest like the pro strategy. All of this comes with your income shifting membership, right? So the thing is, the people say, what? Knowledge is power, right? So where's the knowledge, right? And then it's not just that, you want to have wisdom. So that's what? Applying the knowledge. So now you take these systems and automate it, right? Into a marketing system that's going to help you to leverage your income to create these multiple streams. And what is that? We're not talking about thousands of dollars like they're talking about to start you a franchise, right? We're talking about $9.95. And we've already said with the first strategy about adjusting your W-4, that's going to get you back a couple $100 at the minimum, right? I'm not sure, but generally a couple $100 a month, right? We had several testimonies where it was a couple, they got back $1,100 a month by adjusting their W-4. Okay, so now if you have that, you can definitely do 995, right? And then on top of that, it's a write-off. Learn the differences between a bill and an expense. A bill is what you have now. You can do nothing with it. But if you have an income shifting membership, these bills turn into business expenses, which then turn into money, cash flow that can start coming back into your household. Or if we were talking earlier and you like the travel portion as well, then you can also gain the travel portion by starting with just $29.95, right? So our goal is to say, hey, here's everything we know. We know these things, strategies, tactics, all of these things. We're going to put it in a website. We're going to put it in portals. We're going to put it in courses. We're going to put it in text messages. We're going to put it everywhere that you need it. And all you have to do is get the tools necessary. And the tools are just very little for overhead. Let's look at it that way. Very little for your overhead, right? So guys, that's what we wanted to do today. We wanted to make sure that you understood the ins and outs of the Myecon membership. And our team is the R.E.A.L University, which is simply helping you to renew excellence and advance leadership, right? We have a proven plan to allow you to implement the Myecon strategies so that not only you can be an income shifter, if that's what you desire, you can just say, hey, I'm gonna work on myself. And I'm shy, introverted. I'm just gonna get my credit get together. I'm just going to become the best me I can be. That's totally fine. Let's do that. Let's get yourself started. But you may also say, hey, Mike, I also need to increase my income by doing business strategies. I have a business, but I also would like to create some multiple streams. So that's great too. Let's understand how to build. Let's show you how to do brand management, social media marketing, right? Let's show you how to understand using private label rights, right? So that you can do the things that you really want to do with your particular purpose. If you're a nonprofit, let's show you how to line those things up. So the person that invited you, let them know if you're number one. I'm just working on myself. And great, let's do that. Let's get you all enrolled, right? But if say, hey, I want to help my community, my family, right? I need to build income and leverage assets. Well, let's let the person know that invited you that you're number two, right? And let's get everything going. So no matter what you are, let's focus so that you can get yourself to that next level. So guys, this has been Michael, and I'll see you on the other side of purpose because this side is too easy. It's too easy on this side. Let's get on the other side where we have to do some discipline, right? But what happens when we discipline ourselves? We get those habits that create the wealth, the health, and the success we desire. Y'all